What happens when someone who has been used for views since they were 10 years old grows up? Piper Rockelle has officially announced that she has turned 18, and what we are about to see is the unfolding events of years and years of mistreatment and horror. Her mom has set up everything waiting for this day to come. Most of us know about Piper by now. She's taken TikTok by storm. While most people fall off, to say it quite simply, by losing lots of views and relevancy in about a year, she has managed to stay completely relevant over a decade now. And how she does it isn't exactly as simple and right as it may seem. It's actually a lot more dark and disturbing than we could have thought. So recently, new information has dropped about Piper and really her entire situation, so in this video I thought we would get into it. I'm gonna give a quick heads up. I will be walking around terms that could get this video taken down. The last time I talked about her, my video was taken down, so I have to be really careful. I'm sorry if it is annoying. It's not like my normal videos, but we have to be extra careful because we are covering a very sensitive topic. But first, a quick announcement. Due to our good sales in our shirts and t-shirts, we have been able to donate $500 to Mustafa's GoFundMe. Check out a t-shirt, sweatshirt, or cute Coco plushie below, link in description, and you will be able to help Mustafa and his family and be part of the reason why his family is able to have hope during these awful times in Palestine.
Piper's being trapped in GTA. Piper's needs help in GTA, all this stuff, because it is really not true. I've been to her house. I talk to her every day. She's safe.
There's a lot to get into. Stuff about her mom recently, very, very distressing. Stuff about her situation and whether or not she's joining the BOP house. This is her boyfriend, Capri. We mostly know him because we've talked about him in former videos. He's basically just known for staging all of his videos. Most of them he stages drama with Piper all the time, cheating drama. It's very, very annoying. If I see him, I immediately scroll, usually, unless it's something actually serious going on. And recently, he has talked in a stream about how people have reached out to him saying that Piper may not be safe and Piper may be in a bad situation, which I feel like isn't the worst thing to say because, I mean, it's kind of obvious that she has been, I can't even say the word, but you know what, by her mom since she was very, very young. But of course, his reaction was to go on about how her house looks nice and safe, so she must be fine, which is really funny to me, but whatever. Let's move on to some more serious clips, not regarding people like him.
Hey guys, this is my take on Piper Rockelle, and it's not a hot one. Okay, as a teenage girl, I have been the same age as her whole life. When she was 13, I was 13. 14, I was 14, and so on. The way that she was acting and dressing at 16 is the way that most of the girls I know, and including myself, were dressing and acting, and I don't think it's crazy. And I feel like I'm not really seeing a lot of teenage girls talking about this.
The main reason Piper has been discussed recently so lately is because she's filmed a lot of TikToks at the BOP house and hinted at her favorite person and who she wants to become, and you've guessed it, Sophie Rain. And as most of you know, Sophie Rain makes OF content. She makes content for adults, adult content. You know what I mean. Most of us, I don't feel like this needs to be explained. Piper has grown up making content on YouTube a lot, you know, like the YouTube challenges and stuff. She makes TikTok. She makes pretty simple content, dancing content, nothing crazy, but she has hinted at wanting to join the house and it being a dream. This could be a publicity stunt. I'm not going to lie because Piper does do a lot of these, and I'm not coming at her when I say this. I know it sounds like it. Obviously, for obvious reasons, it is not her fault, but I'm just stating a fact that a lot of the things she does are very, very staged, so this could be another way to try to get some attention. Recently, obviously, the TikToker Piper has filmed a lot of different videos with Sophie, and as you know, that's like the number one way that Sophie has gotten very popular, is she has been the number one person that has been, like, followed. I don't know how to say this without getting this video taken down. Obviously, no shade to her at all. I mean, get your bag, girl, however you want to get it, but do that when you are an adult. And when you see someone this young talking about this type of stuff, it does make a lot of people nervous, and a lot of people are kind of annoyed. They were like, yeah, she's not 1/8 yet, so she should not be with these people making these jokes. It just simply is not appropriate.
After Piper collabed with Sophie Rain and some of the members, it has been brought to our attention that Piper's mom has a page made for Piper that it's kind of similar to this video is only to advocate and bring awareness. Apparently it's been happening for the last 2 years, so 15.
And I know what some are going to say, oh, she just filmed some dancing videos at first. Like, yeah, I get it. You run into some influencers. A lot of them do have that type of content because that is another way to make money. It's another strategy. TikTok videos alone don't always make a ton. It's another way to make money. Fair. But she didn't just do that. As you can see, this girl is going to get into more of a deep dive of really what this has been amplifying. And she has also made a bunch of different TikToks where she talks about how Sophie is her biggest inspiration and how she really just wants to be here and how much she wants to join it and stuff. And it just has been weirding people out a little bit because it seems like she's just so excited and at such a young age to do something like this. And it's something that you should really think about when you're a bit more mature.
So 15 is linked to something similar to Oath, where there's 3 tiers that you can purchase, $100, $35, and I forgot the last one. And there's over 16,000 pictures. I am sick to my stomach because when I look at Piper, I think that she's really sweet, young, still growing, maturing. And I just cannot believe a parent would put their child in that situation.
If you are okay with that being a thing when she is not 1 to the 8, you are definitely not right in the head. This girl has a great point by calling this out. I remember hearing about this from other TikTokers, but I finally found a TikTok that really breaks it down. It is sad, but we have to face it that there are parents out there. There are a lot of them that simply don't have like a soul. They don't have feelings. They don't care. All they see is money and clout. They don't care about their kids' well-being. So we must learn that there needs to be more restrictions on these type of apps where you just can't do this type of stuff and get away with it like this.
When the whole page is managed by the parent. Piper, if you see this video, I hope you're doing okay.
A lot of people on TikTok gave really great commentaries on the situation, so I thought we'd go through quite a few in this video because everyone offers a really, really good perspective, and there are some other situations we need to get into.
I'm unfortunately back in the Piper Rockelle situation that we already knew was bad is actually 100 times worse than we thought it was. I had a 5-hour-long conversation today with somebody who is extremely close to Piper and her mom, or used to be, should I say. I know this isn't what you want to hear, but they weren't comfortable with me saying who they are, and I think that this is a situation where we have to respect that. However, there are some stories that were told to me today. Obviously, it was a 5-hour-long conversation. I have a list of specifics that they are writing out, so tomorrow I am probably going to break your mind. However, you can also imagine why I'm probably back is because, of course, there was another page that was made by Piper's mother again. Together, we got, I think, 6 of them taken down yesterday, so this is number 7. One thing that I've noticed is that every single exclusive page that is being made, they all seem to run through PayPal. And I don't want to keep playing this game with Tiffany. I'm over it, and we're all over it. So I think that the best and most easy, logical way is to just mass report the PayPal.
Even the thought that they allegedly keep getting taken down and the mom keeps putting them back up shows how pathetic do you have to be at this point? She is so pathetic for that money. Let's be honest. If this were to be the worst of the worst, what we think it is, or what it's going to be, you get the idea? Let's be honest. She's going to be getting some of that money. She's getting a lot of stuff out of this. It just is really disgusting and sad. How hard is it to not do this to your kid? She's your kid.
Account that everything is running through. That way she can't keep making new pages. The profile picture is suggestive and I feel weird not covering it, but this is the username. It's Piper Rockelle 510. And then if you click right here, report this link, you can report the entire account. I am also, as you can imagine, blocked on literally everything. Tiffany is not a fan of me, but I know you're watching this. I'm not a fan of you either. Fuck you, you're gross. The only reason that I have been able to still be able to make these videos is because of the comments, DMs, tags, and things that you guys have been sending me.
And obviously the mom is she's not going to take accountability at this point. It's very, very obvious. She may be in denial. Who knows at this point which she's in, but there's obviously no excuse. I know that recently some of you guys have heard about that documentary. It's not super recent, but it came out a little while ago as a whole situation. And I remember Piper was making TikToks about how she didn't like it. It made her feel uncomfortable. And I can see that because it's kind of your personal stuff. But it was all about the mom. I remember I didn't get to watch it because I don't have Netflix. But if one of you guys did watch it, please comment what you thought about it. Was it good or was it bad? Because I never got the chance to watch it.
So continue to do that. But I do think that this is the best route because it's been the common denominator and everything. So I cannot stress to you enough how awful I feel for Piper, and it is not like I have some weird beef with Piper. I have all of the beef in the world with her mother. I cannot wait to see this woman in an orange jumpsuit.
If we have to be realistic though, sadly, money can make you get away with a lot of things, and if I had to guess, we'll never see her in that orange jumpsuit. Does she deserve it? Of course she does. I'm sure we would all agree that she deserves it 100%. She deserves some real jail time for her actions and just her being a pathetic scum overall, but it's never going to happen, let's be real. I mean, someone recently who I'm not even gonna name has kind of gotten away with stuff in court because, let's be honest, wealth has played into it a little bit. Wealth can always help you in these type of situations, and she's just not gonna get in trouble. Like, the law won't touch her.
Let me touch on one of the most important parts of this Piper Rockelle situation. If not the most important part, the history that she has with her mother. There is so much information about this woman, like a concerning amount, that is just up in the open on the internet that no one is talking about. Last year, her mom was sued for child by 11 different teenagers that were Piper's friends. That should say a whole lot about her character, and I don't know how no one is really talking about this and how she's still just allowed to run her daughter's, career. It has always been a known thing that Tiffany, Piper's mom, has always had a hand in what she was doing with her content creation.
Like I said, she'll never be touched. Like, she will never face any real life consequences for it. Nothing will ever touch her because she's wealthy and she just has control over these type of things. Yes, of course, there's been so many examples. I remember reading this. I honestly forgot about it because so much has happened since then, but this is such an important thing to bring up. She has been sued by so many different people, yet she's just allowed to continue to do this. Like, she's just allowed to do this. It's insane that, like, the world we're living in, where, like, it's so obviously there, all the information that she's horrible is there, but she's just allowed to, like, go about with her life and continue to do what she's done for years.
How she posts, what she posts, etc. And for the longest time, Piper has posted the types of videos that could be very easily edited by older men. All of this is strategic and it's a tactic. The entire entertainment industry knows that media itself. This is a story that repeats itself over and over again every single decade. But the fact that it is coming from Piper's own mother is truly insane.
I'm gonna have to be super careful when I talk about this example, but when I began my channel, I remember I made a video about, it was kind of inspired by another YouTuber. It was about someone who was about 1 + 1 + 1 + 1. And her mom was so obviously knowing what was going on and she got criticized so much for the type of video she was making with her 1 to the 1 to the 1 to the 1-year-old kid that she had to turn off the comments. And I'm not even gonna name her because I don't want to send the wrong people over there, but genuinely, like, she knew it and she was in full denial. I remember she released a video and she was talking about how, like, no one's paying attention to this. And every video she'd make with that 1 to the 1 to the 1 to the 1-year-old kid would get like 4 million views and like 200,000 saves. It was so disturbing and disgusting, and the type of photos she would take were beyond weird. These people exist, and it's like time to stop denying this, being like, oh no, they don't mean it. No, they do. They know what they're doing. They're doing it because they're getting benefits out of it, and no one is stopping them.
What's up, y'all? I thought it made sense for me to roll out to LA real quick and surprise my son Capri, but more importantly, to pull up on Piper Rockelle and her family, mostly her mom, because of some of these people, trolls or people with too much time on their hands or whatever have you, that keep sliding in my DMs and leaving comments on my photos, even stuff that has nothing to do with my son. Even before I posted to congratulate my son for hitting 4 million plus followers on TikTok. At first I kept getting all these messages and I was just like screenshotting them and showing.
Please don't do anything with her mom for obvious reasons. We don't need to add fuel to the fire. Please just like speak out against the mom's actions for obvious reasons. I don't know, this video just, I know it doesn't really have directly to do with what the video is talking about, but I thought I'd add it in because it just shows that, like, a lot of parents are kind of turning a blind eye to a lot of the things that have been happening or that have obviously been happening. It's just kind of like, oh, well, they get money off of collabing with her, so I'm just going to shut my mouth and just accept the money. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like everyone is turning a blind eye except like a few different people or people that have no relationship to them. Like, everyone who actually has a relationship with her denies it. Like, they basically all of them are all like, no, she's fine, guys, she's fine. Like, everyone is except the people that don't have any relation. It's like they're in full denial.
When I'm to him and his team, I usually don't read anything negative. I'll just swipe delete any text that's looking negative, any 3 dots I see coming through that might not be it or not on my frequency. I just swipe delete that. So when I saw some of these things coming through, I didn't really know what I was seeing. I looked a little deeper once I saw that it was about my son. And between 9:30 a.m. and boarding an 11:15 a.m. flight, I made my way out to LA.
And I'm not going to sit here and say these people are awful people. Like, Capri's mom, I don't think she's an awful person. I don't think I don't think any of them are. I just wish that, like, they weren't in so much denial. Like, if you're sued by 11 people for basically the same thing and they're all under 1 to the 8, there may be something you're doing wrong. There may be. I'm not going to say for sure, but there may be something. You may need to check, some of your actions and be like, oh, maybe something I did was a little bit wrong. So I just wish that there were more people in our circle that would stop denying that something awful isn't happening. Like, I just hate the full denial that's going on. Because, sure, everyone can talk against it from the outside, but until some people actually take action on the inside, I mean, even if they do, to be honest, I'm not going to pretend like anything would happen, but it is just kind of depressing to see everyone in denial.
I saw and reposted a video where the wife said that her husband chose the name Piper for their daughter after Piper Rockelle. Mind you, she did not know who Piper Rockelle was. She didn't know. She just thought that Piper was such a cutesy pootsy little name. Then she goes and finds out who Piper really is because she watched the Piper Rockelle documentary. He goes on his phone or computer, I cannot remember which one, and finds that he is fully subscribed to Piper's Telegram.
I understand that it may seem hard to believe that people like this actually exist, but they do. There are genuinely incredibly evil people on Earth, and yes, she is literally in danger. It's been going on for so long, and yet so many people are still in denial. And this is going to become, I believe I've already said this in this video, but this is going to become more and more of a trend as we see time go on, because once again, social media is only becoming more and more active in our everyday lives and more of a way for people to really get a career out of it. And it is a method. Faking drama, doing all this crazy stuff to try to promote your daughter's you-know-what, as soon as it becomes legally an option, that is definitely going to be something we will see. And we can't just ignore it and go, no, she wouldn't. No one would do that. Yes, there are people that will do that, and there are people that will follow her, that are definitely not the type of age that should be, let's just say, looking at her that way.
The one that y'all all seen, that we all have seen and all have heard about. He is 35 years old.
I guess there is nothing that will tell us more what has been going on behind the scenes than time. Obviously, the more and more that happens now that she has reached that age, we will sadly probably get to see it a lot because Piper likes to make things pretty public. It's one of her family, I don't even want to say her because we don't know how much she's actually doing this herself, but it's one of her family's methods of like keeping her relevant, because as we know, I've said this before and I'll say it again in many different videos, it is hard to stay relevant as a TikToker. You may blow up, but you'll be irrelevant the next month. Piper stayed relevant forever, and she has a method. It's faking drama with a ton of different people. It's so many different things, being overdramatic, hinting at something that definitely isn't going to happen, all that stuff. So we will really see what this was all leading up to.
Over the past month or so, the Bop House has made it very clear that they do not care about the safety of their underage fans, nor about the safety of children in general. A few of the girls in the Bop House recently collabed with Piper Rockelle, who is a 7-year-old influencer, and they did this very shortly after collabing with Astrovino's daughters, who are 13 and 15 years old. What I find the most alarming about this entire situation is that almost every single person that I see defending them is a minor.
I remember when this all went down a few months ago, it was all over TikTok and tons of people made videos about it critiquing the BOP house, and rightfully so. There's a lot of different reasons why this simply is not appropriate and not a good thing to do, but one thing I was not surprised to see was that the majority of people defending the BOP house for inviting Piper over and making very, let's just say, very not appropriate videos with her was because, like, the reason it's not surprising is because that's their audience. Like, on TikTok, it's like, all their drama is obviously staged. Like, most adults will not spend their time watching that. It is like a reality show, basically, but, like, somehow even more staged. I mean, only kids that, like, just want to have free time and keep up with TikTok drama are paying attention to it, and no hate, obviously. Like, it can be entertaining, especially because it is staged to make it as dramatic as possible, but, like, it makes sense that those are the type of people that really like them. Like, that's their target audience.
The safety of the children idolizing the boss and what they're doing right now, I thought I would make a video explaining why what they're doing is actually very disturbing. The most important thing that you guys need to understand about the boss is that it is a marketing tactic. Specifically a marketing tactic for adult content.
Exactly. It's all about marketing, which there's no shame in marketing for that type of content. Like, as long as you're an adult, I mean, I don't care. But when you start to use children, that's kind of where a lot of people have a problem with it, and understandably. But yeah, of course, they are using it to advertise. A lot of them have gotten very popular on those apps, which I definitely can't say on YouTube, because of the fact that they've blown up on TikTok. It's been a way to advertise, just like how some businesses use social media now. It's the same thing, except it's for their content. That is why they make drama. I remember some of them have admitted in interviews to it. I remember listening to them kind of brag about how they, obviously staged it for clout, and they got clout out of this drama situation, them beefing with someone. Like, when they are beefing with another member of the house, it is so obviously scripted, but it still works, so gotta respect it.
Everything that is posted to the house account is an attempt to get people to circle back to their pages. And that means that the House's target audience are going to be people willing to pay for explicit content. If you have any amount of working brain cells, you will know that the vast majority of people willing to pay for corn and other adult content are going to be middle-aged, corn-addicted men.
And once again, I don't hate on any type of girl for doing that. It's a strategy, it's a marketing strategy, get your bag, whatever. Some of them do great things with the money they earn. Like Sophie recently donated to a charity and donated a lot of money, helping so many different people to be able to get water. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like they're horrible people, but they definitely should be criticized if they are involving someone who shouldn't be with them for obvious reasons in something the person should be involved with.
You are exposing those to your audience of corn-sick men. And I know some of you are going to be like, oh, creepy men are going to exist on the internet regardless of what girls post, which is true. But me personally, I think that adults have a responsibility to protect children as much as they can from predatory people on the internet. A lot of people have also been really confused as to why the internet is more mad about the Piper Rockelle situation than the Ash Trevino situation. And while I do think that neither of those situations were okay, the Piper Rockelle situation is far more disturbing. If you know anything about Piper Rockelle and her history on the internet and the horrid allegations against her mother, some of which include essay of a child,
and the fact that that was just swept under the rug. Yeah, once in a while there'll be a new TikTok talking about it, but overall people people especially that watch these creators have kind of forgotten in a way about these lawsuits and about these allegations against her mom. And this might sound like such a dumb thought, but have you noticed that ever since there's such quick apps such as TikTok where the videos are short and everything, drama's gotten shorter, everything has just gotten shorter. And I'm not going to sound like some grumpy millennial or something, but what I'm saying is everything seems shorter. People just have a shorter attention span now. So even if you are accused of something bad, a week later everyone will forget, and it's just you can still have a platform, if that makes sense. Sure, you can be canceled, but as long as you can make decent content, people forget about things very quickly now. I feel in some ways I just have noticed that on TikTok. It's very weird, especially with this group.
My final boss on TikTok is literally Piper Rockelle and her little boyfriend. I actually don't think I've ever been more annoyed by a TikToker in my entire life. But literally everything that they do is so obviously just made up and scripted. And all of their little beef that they have, anytime they become not the number one trending thing on TikTok for 3 seconds, then it's oh my gosh, Capri cheated on Piper.
I thought this was an important clip to include because I completely understand why people are frustrated, because once again, a lot of Piper's content consists of staged stuff, just like the house content. The house I cannot say on YouTube likely, but that's a lot of her content. So I understand why people are mad, but you have to understand that she's probably not the one control, if you know what I mean, allegedly there's probably other people, specifically possibly her mom, playing a role. We can't just blame it on her specifically. I understand where they're mad because it is very annoying. I hate seeing the videos too, because once again, it just is annoying when someone has the most scripted thing possible and it works, but we have to understand that there's more people rather than just simply blaming her.
I actually don't think my TikTok algorithm understands every time that I hit not interested. They're just okay, here's another one. And I used to think that everyone was in on this joke, everyone knew that these videos were fake. And then I see her comments and all I'm so sorry that he cheated on you. Oh my gosh, you deserve so much better, queen.
People don't realize, I think, how often this stuff exists. How often things are staged. We don't even consider it. We just accept that, yeah, these people are beefing. No, they're not. Once again, no attack on her specifically. No attack on this TikToker. No attack on Piper. None of that. What I'm saying is, Piper Piper's parents, I'm just going to say, have allegedly, because I don't want to get sued or anything, but like she's been beefing with people, which has clearly been scripted for forever now. I remember when they had those little rap battles back and forth? So obviously staged, and now they're mysteriously friends again. It's like she's always been doing this type of content, and it is a new method. It's a more recent method of, I don't think old YouTube beef was quite as staged, I could be wrong, but it's more of a quick way to kind of get more clout.
Like, give me a singular second break. Like, you are so kidding me right now that you actually think any of this is real at. Like, and then all this, like, house, like, wannabe thing, and then everyone's like, she's so young, like, what is she doing? Do I think that she's being, like, exploited by her mom? 1,000%. And that's, like, why she is the way she is. But, like, that doesn't take away from the fact that she's so annoying.
Once again, absolutely no hate towards this creator at all. I do agree with their points that it is annoying, but I feel like, yeah, it kind of does give her a little bit of, like, not to be hated on a little bit, because we don't know how much she's being pressured. There were multiple lawsuits against her mom for pretty pretty terrible things a few literal, like, years ago. Like, we have to see the true side. Like, let's be honest, we know, like, all influencers put on some type of personality thing. Maybe Piper is super shy in real life, who knows, but she's definitely a lot more different than she presents herself on camera, and the fact that she stages everything makes it even more like she's literally playing a character, like she's an actress or something. So obviously, it's kind of, I just don't think it's the right thing to directly blame her and call her annoying, because it's not the best argument.
Hey, Piper, Rockelle. I'm not your mom, obviously, but I am a mom. And I wish I could show you and protect you from all those gross, old, disgusting men that have looked at you and devoured you and did God knows what to your body without your permission.
Not everyone has been mad at specifically Piper. A lot, and I mean a lot of people have been just genuinely concerned for her. Like, I thought this TikTok was a really, really sweet message, because this person does not blame Piper at all. They're like, hey Piper, I just wish that you had actually gotten someone that you deserved, because I know that quote is overused. I know this quote is overused. I've seen it all over TikTok. I remember like a year ago, but it was like, every child deserves a parent, but not every parent deserves a child. And I think this is a very primary example of that.
I am so sorry. I am so incredibly sorry. I wish I could truly show you and tell you what it means to have a mom who loves and protects you. You did not get that.
And I know what some people are going to say, well, she's just making videos, let her do, who cares, it doesn't seem that bad, everyone makes videos. Like, genuinely, she's been in public and people have been treating her, specifically the group of people we don't talk about very much in society, and we certainly do not like, have been treating her very, very, very rudely and, like, very disgustingly in public. Like, there are literal video clips that you can find. I don't want to get this video age restricted, so I probably can't show too much, but there's definitely clips of people not being appropriate to her at all. So to say she's in danger would probably be an understatement.
You will never get that, because unfortunately, baby girl, you were in charge of taking care of your entire family and crew. And it wasn't your job. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming the adult that took control of your life and did what they did with it. I wish you truly knew what it's like to hang out with your kids your age, friends your age, make prom dress appointments and go to Cancun for spring break. And
it must be so stressful for Piper to have to constantly have the pressure of staying relevant. Like, it is so hard, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, to stay relevant, especially on TikTok. And the fact that she's been able to do it shows how hard she's really working. And it's just like so much pressure to put on one person at such a young age. Like, far aside from literally all the other awful things we've discussed, like that alone, like, you should not be forcing your kid to do this type of stuff. Like, that's just not appropriate at all. And it's just insane that, like, this is just allowed. Like, she's being treated like some kind of, like, character in some, once again, like, reality show or something. And it's like, no, she should actually be able to just grow up like a normal kid.
Go travel the country not to take photos and do just to hang out and go to coffee shops.
Yeah, I just thought this was a really, really sweet message. And yeah, there's just so much disgusting and disturbing stuff. But I'm glad that a lot of people are waking up. I wish, once again, it was more people that were really around her, because that would be probably be a bit more helpful. Obviously, the adults in the situation. But it is really, really sad to see. And once again, it's only going to get more and more common as time goes on. Like, let's be honest. who, everything you could do for clout, someone has done for clout. So if you really think parents are going to stop doing stuff like this, if given the chance, they're totally going to. I mean, the only way that we can come close to even fixing this problem would be to have, severe restrictions on this type of content. Like, you make this type of content, you're banned. But, I mean, let's be honest, that's just probably not going to happen. I am sure the things that are going to affect her later in her life due to this and all these things that have happened to her, it's going to be a lot of stuff, probably take a serious toll on her mental health, everything, emotional health, every single thing is going, it's going to impact her in so many different ways. Because once again, even if you subtract all of the other awful things that she's been forced to do, just alone the amount of fame and pressure she has, that would be enough to break almost anyone. The amount of fame and pressure she has at such a young age, I just cannot imagine being in such a difficult position. I really just hope that she gets more help later in life and she has some very good friends that will help her. Hopefully some maybe relatives or someone out there that can truly help her and truly give her the love that she has not been given clearly by her parents. So that's going to conclude this video. There's not really much more to say. I just really wanted to get into this because a lot of you have been requesting it for a while, but I have kind of avoided it because it is a difficult topic to cover without the video getting taken down, because last time I talked about her, it did get taken down. So I don't know, this video will likely get taken down. Who knows? Depends how well I did avoiding certain words, but overall, it is a really disturbing situation. Please be respectful in the comments, especially towards this girl, because for obvious reasons, none of this is her fault. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to go donate to the GoFundMe, and I'll see you in the next one.